money back, money back, money back, he can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gangsta, don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look on my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this button, the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. That be late, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Babe, like a Monday, Ferrari body. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wild card game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Lucky 56. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. A'Shawn Robinson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Second down, Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall.
And I don't think this is the script they had to drive. This is 3rd and long.
Now let's go.
Mayfield on play action. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jabal Sheard coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw, Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. It's a big play there for the Saints, and even 40 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Mayfield now on 2nd down, and he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Mayfield to throw it. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, 1st quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big. That's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
Trying to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They'll run it with Kamara. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Spiller, and he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Hey, go here!
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now his 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sean Robinson in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And going deep for Hill. He's got a man complete. He's at the 30, the 20, 10 for touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, 97 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you can do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Johnson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Stafford now to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. The Saints say they have it, and they do. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. Say from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Steps away to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
There's not much pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Stafford going for the deep ball. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ken Crawley. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Following the interception, Mayfield. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
3-19!
From the gun, Mayfield. Kamara's got the first down and then some. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to float this one. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, 36 yards. And the Saints add on to their lead. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Forced out to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Mayfield looks to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On 2nd down, Mayfield again. Binds, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Mayfield off the play fake. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Well, he's been the guy. Already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now he steps away. Finding room at the 30. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford rolling to his left. Left side, it's Dorsett. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford on 1st down. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And the Saints signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run for him with Spiller. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. On the sneak, it's Stafford. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Matthew Stafford taking it in. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawlin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down. Mayfield, he's going to float this over the middle deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there just before halftime. 61 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab with that length. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Devontae Parker in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Lutz now to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up in will take it now. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. The final shot before the break. Stafford dancing to his left. Now he'll turn and throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Von Bell. He's got daylight. 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw on second down to Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. To throw on third down. Stafford being chased out left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Brianne Bonnie Calhoun. And the return will stop right around the 25. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, it's Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3-19.
On third down, here's Kamara. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a fourth down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. At halftime, they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Roberts. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big...
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense.
Detroit!
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run it again with Kamara. Fights loose. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Now let's go! 3-19!
Now a pitch out to Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now they go for it on 4th down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete.
Do the sportsmanship rules still apply as they did when we were kids, or has that changed over time?
That just straight rubbing it in. You fake when you're up by this margin? Yikes.
I wonder if we'll hear an explanation later about, well, you never know about total points in a game and, you know, over the season.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Saints are pouring it on. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They've faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes it.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this one is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Gone!
On second down, Kamara. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A busy night continues for Kamara, and he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
All right, here we go.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
All right, now, look at 56. Look it.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Stafford. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Von Bell. And now running right through it. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Toss play, Kamara. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing. Partner. I got zipped on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on just 8